Continuing. Start session. If I have it checked, then it means the start and end time for the operation of the automated will be involved. If I uncheck this, as soon as you enable the automation, that baby's running. So what I do, I use 8:32 a.m. US Central Time till 1:30 in the afternoon. That's the time window that I'm willing to initiate let the automation initiate and take trades if I'm trading US indices. If I'm trading gold or oil or other instruments, then I'm willing to trade different time windows, like maybe London session on gold and some US session and so on and so on. Optimization will always dial you in, showing you, hey, where are the signals catching the biggest moves and you're getting the highest returns. That's easy to find out by doing optimization work. But US indices, you're trading the YM, the ES, you're trading the Russell, you're trading the NASDAQ, trading the micros or the minis. This is a really good starting point time window. Now, on occasion, when there's morning news at 7:30 US Central Time, on occasion, I will let it start at 7:32. That's hit and miss. That's only during certain news releases where I like where the market's at leading to the news release and so on. Or a lot of times I might, on a news release day, I'll have it set at 0732. Then the news, let's say it's 7:30, the news fires off and we have a nice big move. And I'm like, oh, I want to engage. I'll go enable the strategy. I already have my time window, so from 7:32 on, I'll give it 2 minutes of initial market reaction to the news release. Then I'll let the automation look for any signals that arrive out of that reaction to the news release. And I just did that the other day. The market was running past 7:30s, past 7:32, turned on the automation, waited, and I think around 7:50-ish or 7:51, fired off a short, ripped right down, left the automation on. We were after the US Open a couple of minutes and caught along and boom, I'm done. So that's how I'm using the time window. That's for me. The 8:32, if you just do everything during US cash session hours, nothing wrong with that. So you have to enable it though for it to work. If I uncheck that, time windows mean nothing. Okay, now me personally, the next item, this is all about the AIQ indicator. So what I always make sure, this is some super critical information, I make darn sure that the indicator I have on my chart, at least the AIQ1, which is the mom signal strategy, is exactly set with the same settings that's in the strategy, whether I have the strategy to plot the indicator or not. The settings you have here controls where the automation is running the strategy, not from the indicator you happen to have on your chart. So you could have a naked chart that's just price and then elect to plot the indicator in the strategy. I never do it that way. You can. I make darn sure that my AIQ1 indicator is set to 5, 0, MA10, better formula. I uncheck this. That way I don't have to keep having a bunch of naked charts that have no indicators on it. So we put that in there. It wasn't in there in the beginning. It was just always going to plot. And I told the program, I said, no. Let's have that ability to turn on and off. Okay, dot sounds, that's the, heads up, we might be reversing. All that stuff, I just turn it off. I bias to let my chart indicators be the mechanism that gives me sounds and stuff. I don't need to have that in the strategy, but I do know a lot of traders that trade naked charts. They want the indicator to be plotted by the strategy just so they know that what they're seeing is exactly aligned with what they have in the chart. We put that on there so that you have all the settings availability that you typically have in the indicator in the strategy itself. Plot show box, I personally never select it. Tell you the truth, I turn that on. I don't even remember what that means. Here's a big one. The account number. You know, what account is the strategy going to be running on? And I always say, whatever you have set here, turn on your chart trader and make sure the account on that particular chart is exactly the same as the one on the strategy. In the end, this strategy is going to run what you select. So for me, it would be like a take profit trader account or a trade day account or an Apex account or a sim account when I'm in the beginning practicing. What you set here is where the order activity is going to be routed to. That's huge. And then just a good rule of thumb, always make sure, let's click that out for a second. Always make sure whatever you have in your chart trader, whatever you have here perfectly matches with what you have in your strategy. That way, what's happening in the automation is plotting on your chart, your fills and your, stop and target and so on. Always have those the same. Unless you're doing something advanced that I don't know about and you know what you're doing, go for it. I'm just talking basic level, running the automation and not getting all screwed up. Now, back to the strategy. Strategies. Let's go back in here. Let's go back and add the strategy again. I have a drawing tool in my way. Okay, let's go back in here. And I'm gonna go up here real quick. Oops, sorry, I got added the wrong one. Let's remove that. Let's highlight the correct strategy. Let's add it. Let's go up. I got to set this again real quick because I didn't save it last time. That's okay. 1100. Oops. 1100. 160 in ticks. This is a in tick setting. That's all good. That's all good. Time window's good. And so on. Okay, now down here, I've set it on the account that I want to run it. Calculate on bar close. That's all good. Start behavior, wait until flat. Synchronize account. That works for me. If you want to do something advanced, go off and do what you want. Order fill resolution, standard fastest. That's what I always use. And then let's just go through here. I leave all these like slippage, all this stuff I just leave at the default strategy. Good till cancel. You could put on that good till day for just that particular day or for that day. So you don't have anything going into the next day. Uh, I'm just going to leave it at good till cancel because I have a whole process making sure I'm flat. I don't have everything on and all that. Exit on session close if for some reason you still had something running. Let's put 30 seconds after the session close. Now, another thing, once I have something set up and I like all the settings, and I know I'm going to be using these same settings day after day after day, I want to go in and I want to make a template and I want to put save and I want to call this like I'll call this my MNQ 37 because I'm on a 37 AIQ bars, and then I'll put basic, like I'm not doing anything special, and I'm going to save that as a default. Or I could just put save it, but I'll let it be the default. Just that way, every time for now when I carry the strategy to a chart, that's what it loads, and I'll go in and adjust as needed and create a new template if I'm going to trade a different instrument, time frame, and so on. In the end, just the idea is to make a template so you don't have to keep going in and reloading all the settings over and over again. Then I hit OK, and now I can see it's in D, meaning it's not enabled. So the strategy is not enabled. I have the strategy on the chart ready to be enabled, but until it's enabled, it will not work. So let's go into the strategy. And way down here in the strategy, way down here, you're going to see this in the setup section enabled. I have to check that for the strategy to activate on a chart, and I'll hit OK. Now, it doesn't mean it's just going to suddenly take any next trade because I have a time window turned on. It'll only take trades during the time window, but the strategy has to be on and enabled to work. So now I can see the toolbar pop up. The D that was in front of the strategy is gone, meaning it was disabled. Now it's enabled. It's on. I'm ready to play the long and the short mode. I could set up the strategy for long mode only or short mode only. And anytime, a lot of times when I'm in the trade and it's running automated, it's running, and I get over my daily goal, I'll hit the flatten button to go flat, and then I turn off the strategy, and then I go and make sure it's all no longer enabled, so it won't take any more trades. Where the buttons is wrong. I told the programmer to have it to the right X amount of pixels over, so we're going to do an update that'll get moved over. That way this isn't laying on top of my strategy label. So sorry about that. We'll get that fixed. And then the other thing, another way to check, on your strategies tab, you'll see the strategy. You want to make sure you're on the right instrument. Gives you the bar time frame, tells you what account it's on, and it's enabled. So it's not a bad idea to have the strategies tab open when you're setting up a strategy on your platform. Okay, another thing. If I'm triggered into a trade, at any time you can go and manually move stops and targets. You can move them. If you cancel them out or click out of it, the automated strategy could be confused, and it's best then to just hit the flatten button. If you ever do anything while the automated strategy is running by accident, just hit the flatten button and wait for the next setup. Just get out of the trade, get any uh, resting stops or targets that are still hanging there, get rid of them. That's what the flatten button's for. So you don't have any mistakes of any stray targets or stops that are still sitting on your chart and active even though you're out of the position. And another thing I suggest, don't go in when an automated strategy is running and try to ding around with the position size. So if I'm trading 5 lots and down here it starts going sideways and I want to take off 3 and leave 2 on, don't do that. Just, if you don't like what the market's doing anymore, hit flat, take what you got, let the strategy run. If you want to do more sophisticated where you take off partials and all that, go do that with third-party tools. Because in the end, the predominanceal data will show you if you hang on to the full clip of positions, you can get to a daily profit objective in kind of a standard mode of automated trading much more frequently than if you start, I want to take off, I want to trade 7, I want to take 2 off, X amount takes the money, and then a little bit farther, I want to take off third one, then I'll let 2 run. All that more sophisticated, complicated way of trying to hyper smooth out your equity curve, go do that with third-party tools. I'm never going to build an automated strategy that does all that kind of stuff. Not at this point. We just want the basics, want something simple to operate, and I'm having no problem getting my daily goal day after day. Now, I'm trading the predominance of the time on 37. Renko, I'm experimenting on some other time frames on this instrument. And as I see better and better, and as I get more time to optimize, which lately I haven't been, I got so much going on, then I can add, hey, this is looking really good now, or hey, this is looking good. The 39's looking good with these settings, or the 41, or hey, I'm actually finding the 33. So we can layer on top of, but with just the basics, this is a great starting point.